What is going on, everyone? My name's Andy and welcome to another FPL video. Today it's the Gameweek 4 preview, which also includes a little look back on Gameweek 3, which is a bit of a rollercoaster ride. Plenty of red cards, plenty of goals, and Man United getting battered on the last day, which is unfortunate for me as a fan, but I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed that. I am actually recording this on Monday night, so after the Man United Spurs game is finished, but Gameweek ranks aren't quite updated. But if I don't do it now, I won't be able to get it out this week, so I'd have thought better to get it out for you than not. And as always, I'll go through my team as well as other key talking points for the week. Before we jump into today's video, I wanted to talk about our sponsors, Forza Football. This is a really cool free app which has got a ton of football info, and as an FPL manager I found super useful for tracking the Premier League teams. You can also track other teams from around the world as well. One of the great things is the push notification system, so that'll send alerts for things like red cards, goals, and the lineup straight to your phone, so you don't have to go trawling through social media to find that, which is great if you're out and about on the weekends like I am quite a lot. And if you go into the app, you can also check out things like yellow cards, substitutions, and the all-important FPL question, who got the assist? But probably my favourite part's the media section. So the app will try and find a clip of what's just happened, maybe a red card or goal online. And so far for all the Premier League matches I've tracked, it has found that. You can just click into that, it'll take you straight to the video, you press play, and then you enjoy. You find out whether that FPL player was lucky or not to get points. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it can be frustrating, but overall I really love that feature. If you want to check out the app, click the link in the description below and let me know what you think. We'll start off with a quick review. I did hit the 50-point mark, but that's where it ended. Unfortunately, down to 10 men because Bai didn't play, Van Bissaka was suspended, Peltier's lost his place, and obviously a midfielder can't come on for a defender when you've only got 3. So 10 men for me and a score of 50. As I said, the game week ranks aren't quite updated yet, so I was on a 940,000 game week rank. That will definitely go down because I had no players tonight. Harry Kane did well, Moura did well. Obviously, Man United got battered, but even appearance points would have been nice. And again, overall rank was about 340,000 before this week, up to 236,000. But I'm definitely going to fall with no points. Obviously, people will get auto subs and will have scored points from today's matches. So I'm expecting that to go down, but hopefully it'll be a green arrow overall for me. Obviously, Richarlison saw red. Stupid of him to kind of put his head in. It doesn't really matter how much of a headbutt it was or wasn't. As soon as you do that, the referee's got no choice but to send you off. Really frustrating for everyone that bought him in this week. Obviously, feel sorry for you guys. For me, I've had him since the start, so maybe the blow wasn't quite as bad. But obviously, with the great fixtures that he's got coming up, it's a bit of an annoying situation to have to get rid of him. But it is what it is. It's FPL. We have to adapt to what happens. By fail, as I said, he kind of got dropped. I did mention last week or in streams that I thought there was a chance that Mourinho might kind of make an example of him and leave him out. And that's exactly what he did. Phil Jones played with Smalling and kind of Matic Herrera's in the back three. Jones got injured, so there's a chance that Bai comes back, but obviously being down to 10 men is super frustrating, even though Man United didn't get the clean sheet anyway. The King lives on, so Josh King, I kept him. Obviously a 2-week game week sample size is not a huge amount, but again, he didn't play stats-wise that great. Wilson was still far ahead of him, but Wilson won the penalty and King took it. Obviously Wilson missed the one in game week 1. So it looks like King's on penalties now, which makes him a bit better in my eyes. But stats-wise, he's still not getting those shots in, especially in the box. Like Wilson is. So I don't know how many goals there are there, but hopefully he can pick up some form, keep getting the penalties and keep getting us points. Zaha lacking bonus, so again, 2 goals now in 3 game weeks, but also 2 yellow cards. I feel he was a bit unlucky to get a yellow card in this match, to be honest. His tackle was fine, his feet wasn't too far in the air, it wasn't like he was off the ground or anything, so a bit unlucky to get a yellow card, but not getting very good bonus points. So when he does score, he's not getting those bonus. He probably needs 2 attacking returns to get up there, which is a bit frustrating, but 2 goals in 3 with the really nice fixtures he's got to come, I'm still happy with him. Willy Bolle hero, so I've not got him in my team, but obviously he scored against Man City, and Wolves did really well. They only let in 1 goal against Man City. I think Man City did hit the woodwork a few times, which is possibly a little bit unlucky on their side, but really well played by Wolves. We kind of said in streams and videos and stuff that maybe they've been a bit unlucky with the amount of goals they've conceded so far, and obviously showing against that Man City. So if you had Willy Bolle scored for you, fair play. Great name. I think at some point I want him in my team this season just because of the name alone. Alonso doesn't stop. More attacking returns. It's now 5 attacking returns in the first 3 games. You could say he's a little bit lucky. I mean, arguably it wasn't a penalty. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree. And the second one was a shot off target that was converted by the Newcastle defender. I think it was Yedlin. So that's a bit frustrating as a non-owner. But you can't deny he's getting up the pitch, getting into the box. The attacking is going to come, and with the fixtures they got, there could be some clean sheets as well. And then lastly, just to talk about tonight's match, obviously Spurs smashed Man United 3-0. Mora with 2 goals, obviously got a goal against Fulham. Could have had another one in that match as well. If he'd had a slightly better touch, he wouldn't have had to foul the keeper and would have probably been through on goal. And got another one, so it could have been 4-2. Obviously, there's concerns about Son coming back. We'll talk about that in the preview. But yeah, Mora looking good, and at 7 million could be the next bandwagon. Next, we move on to the preview where I'll talk about my team as well as some key talking points for this week. And the first one up is, do I need Alonso? A lot of people talking about him. Obviously, he's got super high ownership now and a really good run of fixtures for Chelsea that include Bournemouth at home, Cardiff at home, and then West Ham away. So obviously, he's got 5 attacking returns in 3. Is that sustainable? It's not really sustainable for most players, let alone a defender. So you could maybe say he got a bit lucky in the last match against Newcastle. Could have the penalty might not have been given by another referee, and obviously the second assist was a shot off target that got converted as an own goal. So a little bit lucky, but he does get up and down that wing. He's still attacking like when he was a wing back. He's getting in the box. So this stuff is going to come to him because he is so attacking. And although that's not going to be sustainable over the whole season, with the fixtures they got coming up, he could definitely get more attacking returns. And even if he doesn't, there could be defensive returns, obviously clean sheets and bonus points as well. So I'm a little bit worried that I don't own him. The eagle-eyed in you will see that I've already made my Richarlison move. I've brought Walcott in, and that's basically priced me out of getting Alonso. So I was very conscious of making that move, but I knew what the consequences were when I made it. I can't do Bailly to Alonso now. It's a little bit frustrating that I've got Robertson and Mendy, and that still doesn't feel like enough premium defenders. I've never had more than 2 premium defenders, I don't think, apart from maybe later on in the season during double game week. So I'm a little bit worried about Alonso. I think he's a really great option. So if you bought him in or you're thinking of bringing him in, it's definitely a good move. I've not gone for him because I don't think he's a good player. It's just because it doesn't fit in with my team structure. I didn't want to bring in a 5.6 million or less midfielder to fund the move. And if Bailly's going to play, which I'll come on soon when I talk about Man United, then I'll probably just keep him, and I'll maybe look at picking up Alonso on a wildcard. But right now I've not gone for him. Do you need him? I think he's a great option. And if you've got the money, I'd definitely go for him. Is Walcott too obvious? So I've made my Richarlison move. I've gone straight to a Walcott swap. Usually I don't like doing straight swap moves like that in the same team, but it's obviously a red card. Richarlison's not going to play, so Walcott's the one. I think Huddersfield at home, West Ham at home, Arsenal away, so old club, and then Fulham at home are a nice set of 4 fixtures for Walcott. I think, yes, his underlying stats haven't been great, but he's looked sharp, looks kind of fully fit, raring to go. Obviously already got his goal at the weekend as well. And I think with Richarlison not in the team, potentially some of the burden or responsibility of scoring for Everton will now fall on his shoulders even more than when Richarlison was in the team. And then, if we need to get rid of him in a couple of weeks and we maybe want to get Richarlison back, then the fixtures are there, could still make that move. But I want to bring in someone for Richarlison this week and try and get those points, especially when I've got a wild card in the back pocket, that if everything goes wrong, I can just use that. So I wanted to make the move and try and get some points where Richarlison is out. So I've got Walcott in. Sometimes you've got to go for the obvious move. Obviously, Mora and Mkhitaryan are options if you've not owned them and you've got a bit of money to spend. Pedro also at a similar price. So I've got a slight worry in the back of my mind that he might not start at some point and Hazard and Willian will play together. But Pedro, again, looks good. Obviously, Chelsea got good fixtures. I've already spoken about them with Alonso. And right now, he does look like he fits into that system, and probably a little bit of overthinking, thinking that he could get rotated. But I've gone for Walcott purely for the fixtures. He looks in good form, and hopefully he can carry that on without Richarlison. Mora bandwagon obviously did really well against Man United. I kind of tweeted about him actually before he scored those goals, saying that he might be another option for Richarlison if you can afford him. Now, Spurs fixtures are mostly away. They've got Watford away, Liverpool at home, which obviously is a tough one, Brighton away, Huddersfield away, and Cardiff at home. So although they're away matches, I think for an attacker that's fine. Obviously the worry is that Son will come back and take his place. Now Son is in the Asian Games, potentially going to have to do military service, but Korea have got to the semi-finals and the final will be on the 1st of September. And then the next game week after that is not till September 15th start. So potentially if he can get out of military service by winning the Asia Games, then he could then take Mora's place. But because Mora's been in such good form, it might take a bit of a drop in form or potentially some rotation around kind of League Cup or Champions League and stuff like that for Son to get back in the team. So Mora could be a short-term pump. But again, this early on in the season when we still got wildcards and stuff to fall back on, I'd be pretty interested in getting someone like him in. And then if you need to get rid of him, you can do that on wildcard or later on with a transfer. And I think with the fixtures they got coming up away from home might actually suit him. Could have scored more in the Fulham game and just looks dangerous up top with Kane. Obviously, he's providing all the pace and he's causing defences a lot of problems. Next up is Aguero versus Salah for the captain. Don't want to spend too long on this. I've basically gone for Aguero. I think I have to in the home fixture. after what he did against Huddersfield in the last home fixture. And Salah away to Leicester, I think he'll definitely get points there. But obviously it is a little bit of a tougher fixture, so I want to back the home player. Unless I hear from the Guardian that he's going to be rested or some other source, then maybe I'll switch. But I think I've learnt my lesson after game week 2, so we'll see what happens there in terms of what Pep says or what kind of rumours come out. But I think Aguero versus Newcastle, he's got such a good record against them. I don't think I could go into this game week without captaining him. I know some people are even talking about triple captain. Can Man United be trusted? So I guess the short answer is no. 3 games, 1 win, looking poor, conceding goals. Now, I've got Bailly. Am I looking at keeping him potentially with Jones out? Now, hear me out. I know Man United are not a good option right now, but Matic and Valencia are now back. That's going to help us out. Obviously, it didn't help out against Spurs, but we looked good in the first half. And obviously, it was their first game back, so maybe they've got to take a bit of time to get up to speed. And the next fixtures are Burnley away, Watford away, Wolves at home, West Ham away, and Newcastle at home. So granted, not done well so far, but some of the more prominent first team members are back now. Going to take a few games maybe to get up to scratch, but there's got to be some clean sheets there. Obviously, Jones got injured, so Smalling's probably going to play with either Lindelof or Bailly. So we'll see what Mourinho says. For my personal team, I may keep Bailly and just take the risk. If he doesn't play, I can just get Van Bissaka coming in. And obviously, if he does play, then Burnley away, there could be a clean sheet there. So can you trust Man United? I can definitely see why you get rid of their attackers. I mean, Lingard at 6.9 million is a potential option as a Richarlison replacement. He played really well tonight in a team which just wasn't good around him. He was probably Man United's best player, I'd say. So it could be an option at 6.9. Very much a punt, though. But Burnley are conceding a lot of goals. Usually Burnley away I wouldn't like as an attacking fixture. But this year, with Europa League and stuff, they seem to be not coping with that too well and conceding a lot more goals, especially with Joe Hart in goal as well. So we'll see what happens there. Probably not going for Man United players, I get you. But if you've got them, especially if you've got someone like Shaw, I'd probably keep him. Mourinho kind of praised him, give him a good hug after the game, patting him on the back as if to say, don't worry, I know it was 3-0, but you played well. So I think Man United defensively looking in trouble, but with the players they got coming back and the fixtures they've got, I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, for a clean sheet. Hazard explosion imminent? I think it is. If you look at the fixtures they got, like I said earlier, Bournemouth and Cardiff are home in the next 2. Bournemouth especially, again, he's another player like Aguero versus Newcastle that's got a good record against Bournemouth. Got attacking returns in all his games so far with very limited minutes. Obviously, he played a lot more in the last game, so he should be getting up to kind of 70-80 minutes mark now. So I think he can do damage against Bournemouth, who, not great defensively. I think they will attack and they could easily get a goal against Chelsea. Even though I'd back Alonso for the clean sheet, there's obviously still a chance with the way Bournemouth play that he can nick a goal, maybe get even 2. But I think attacking-wise, it's going to be a great game for Hazard. Obviously, still on penalties, as we found out in the last game. Jorginho hasn't taken them off him. So looking good. So for those of you thinking of bringing him in, I think he's a good option. A lot of people ask me whether to get rid of Mane for him. Personally, I'm not really too keen on spending a transfer doing that. Does Hazard have the better fixture? Yes. If you've got money in the bank and nothing else to do, then it could work out for you. Like I said, I do think he'll do really well. But swapping Mane out, I'm not too sure just yet. I think Mane's done enough so far this season to stay in our teams. Just want to really quickly talk about Palace and life without Tompkins. Now, he got injured in the warm-up of the last game. It was just a calf injury, so fingers crossed he'll be back for the next one. We'll have to wait and see what Hodgson says. I don't think we've had quite confirmation yet of how long he might be out for, but fingers crossed he's back this week. And the reason I want to talk about them is like Chelsea and Everton and even Spurs. They've got a really nice run of fixtures coming up. A lot of us have got Zaha, Van Bissaka in. But I'm potentially even looking at Bailly to Van Aanholt and Sacco. Now, a lot will depend on Tompkins. If he's fit, I think that him and Sacco have got a really nice partnership and I could foresee clean sheets in the near future. But if Tompkins isn't fit, then I'd be wary about playing Crystal Palace assets. And obviously, a lot of us want to play Van Bissaka because of the fixtures. And I think it's fine at 4 million. It's not too much of a risk. But with Tompkins out, it could be a problem. And then lastly, I'm not own him. I don't own him. I've backed him this season, like in my predictions and stuff, but I don't own him. What to do with Aubameyang? Now, this is a super tough one because the fixtures are there. I think he's a quality player that is going to do well at some point this season. But if you're an owner, you've owned him the first 3 weeks, it must be super frustrating at this point. And if you don't have Aguero, I think you probably need to make that move. Unless you've got loads of other fires to put out. I think Aubameyang to Aguero just this week, because Aguero looks like the prime captain option, is one to do. And I want to back Aubameyang against Cardiff away. I really do. And I think Arsenal look better without Ozil in the team. Ramsey obviously came and did really well. And I think Aubameyang obviously is still going to be nailed. I don't think Lacazette's going to replace him as the front man, and then Aubameyang's going to step out completely. I think he's always going to be in that team unless injuries or something take their toll. So I can definitely see a reason for keeping him, but if I don't have Aguero in my team this week, then I would be worrying. Obviously, Kane's done well now for the second week in a row. Salah is obviously a very expensive player that most of us have got in their team, or at least more than 50%. So it is hard to fit in all these heavy hitters, which is why I think it's a little bit easier to let Aubameyang go. So that's what I would do with him. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, he's a very expensive player, should do well against Cardiff, but will Aguero do better against Newcastle? So that's it for the points I wanted to talk about. For my own team, I'm definitely going Aguero captain. I've done Richarlison to Walcott. I know it looks like the obvious move, but sometimes they're the best ones. Bailly, I'm going to look at taking out potentially for a -4. I'll see what Mourinho says about him. If I think there's a chance that he gets back into the team, I may keep him, and I've got Wan-Bissaka to come on. If not, I might bench him, not take the hit, and just play Wan-Bissaka anyway. The only thing that worries me about that is I won't have a bench, because if he's not going to play and Peltier's lost his place in the squad, it's only Stevens who's a midfielder. So I might take Bailly out for someone like Van Aanholt, or Saka. Obviously spoke about Crystal Palace, or potentially Laporte is someone I've got my eye on. For 5.5 million, I think with Man City's next 4 fixtures, there's definitely clean sheets there. Obviously didn't go with Edison at the start, which is a bit frustrating, but Laporte looks good. Left-footed player on that left side of the defence, I think that adds a bit of balance, and I think Pep likes that, which is why he started 3 out of 3. So I'm definitely looking at him. Obviously scored a goal in the last game. Would be nice if he could do the same against Newcastle by bringing him in. But that's what I'm thinking about. But I'll run through my team in the next stream as well, just in case I am thinking about making any more transfers. So that's it for today's video. Thanks as always for watching. It's really appreciated. Apologies for not being able to get the game week rank and stuff updated, but I just wanted to make sure I got this video out on time so you could digest it throughout the week. And let me know in the comments below what you thought of the points that I made, any different opinions, any questions that I didn't answer. Let me know in the comments below. As I said at the start of the video was sponsored by Forza Football. It's a really cool app. If you want to check it out, click the link in the description below. That'll help me out. And I think you'll enjoy it as FPL managers, especially the media section. I really like that. I'll leave it there. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, always appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here, and hit the bell so you're notified for the next video and the next live stream, which will be Thursday at 9:30 PM. I will catch you next time. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers all.